This is a Glassbox Media Podcast.
Hello. Welcome.
What's up?
Hi. Oh no, we got some tangle action
Are you right?
going
This
here.
is
my
good.
hands
I
full.
think you should leave it like that.
There we go.
That looks nice. That's sexy.
Hi.
Yeah, it's magic.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming out tonight, and thank you to Keep It Weird podcast for opening it up.
Yes.
I really have a lot to think about now. I kind of want to have you met my friend Christina,
Somebody
guy
in
in
jail?
prison.
Let's not
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
No,
You're
let's
like,
not
I
do
You don't
that.
think that's a good idea? I
Yeah.
feel like they had like good arguments.
They,
for, like,
they kind of convinced you. I saw you backstage.
I know.
You're
I was like, I never thought about
Making
that before.
notes.
is there a
in your notebook.
database? Is there a prison nearby that I can contact?
I feel like I could Google it or
Is there
something.
like a Tinder app for that?
What happened to Hot Felon? Do you remember Hot Felon from a couple of years ago? Like the
oh,
hot guy?
that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
He,
No,
like,
he's-
blew up
he's
on
a
social
model.
media?
He's a model now.
Is he a model now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He got
I think
a
he
modeling
left his
contract.
baby mama after that happened.
What did he do to get in prison is the question, because I'm concerned that
does
we're
it
like
matter? Who
celebrating.
cares?
Yeah.
I have concerns. I feel concerned about
I have
this.
serious I have reservations. I don't think this is a good
If he's
idea.
already out, it must not have been that bad.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
We talk a lot about how people should be in prison longer.
Well,
so.
well that's true. Exactly.
Anyway,
Well,
welcome everybody to My Worst Date. I'm Cassie.
I'm Keegan.
and I'm Christina.
And if you have never listened to My Worst Date, we'll give you like a little rundown. We started this podcast in June of last year. I think it was
yeah,
June.
July.
Or July. Yeah. We started this podcast because Christina went through a divorce.
Yay.
And she...
Soup's fun. Everybody should get at least one.
Get
So-
one under your belt.
Right.
Try it out for
Yeah.
size. Not
Or-
for everybody, you know?
As
Yeah.
in the case that we'll be talking about later on, maybe like 6 or 7. Just,
Right.
just wrap it up.
Roll through
Exactly.
them.
And so she was coming to us with just the most horrendous dating stories that I had ever heard.
God.
Personally, and I was just like, you know what? We should have a podcast about
We
this.
should definitely talk about
because
this.
I bet you other people have equally as horrific stories, and I want to hear them.
And we were actually wrong. People didn't have equally as horrific stories. They were actually so much worse. So I
much
felt
worse.
better. I was fine. But yeah, other people's are so much worse.
Yes,
So.
that's absolutely true.
And that's why we say commiserate together, because everybody's got bad dating stories. We've all been there, done that. So,
Correct.
yeah. So
or
let's
you've been
commiserate
someone's
together.
bad date. It's one or the
Yes,
other. If you
yes.
think you don't have any bad date stories, you've probably been somebody's bad date.
Oh,
Absolutely.
for sure. I've
Absolutely.
definitely shared some shame receipts myself.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of shame receipts, I don't have any like dating shame receipts to cash in, but I do have a couple.
Cash in.
I do have a couple to cash in. So,
No refunds.
man, I mean, that's
No
life.
money back.
That's life.
Yeah.
I had a couple of job interviews recently. Today was my last day at my current job, and I
Yep.
had.
Hooray for job.
Thank you.
job.
So I'd gone on a couple of job interviews, and the first one that I went on, it was going all right. You know, except for that, like I'd briefed myself, I'd studied, and then they threw some curveballs at me. And you know when that happens, you just like repeat something that you've already said.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I'm a quick learner, and I already said that, but
Something bad about
Where you're
me.
saying-
I just like
where
to
do
work
I wanna
so
be
much.
in 5 years?
I care too
Here.
much.
I care too much. I know how to do Word, Excel, PowerPoint.
All of them. I can do everything.
Everything.
And then you're Googling later a YouTube video.
That's what I did at my current job.
Oh,
They were like,
totally.
"Can you work Excel?" I was like, "Absolutely."
I'm
Went
a
home and
master.
YouTubed it. I was like, "I think I got it. I'm gonna be fine." So I went in and they took me into like this editing room, like room full of editors, and introduced me to everybody. And I was like, "Okay, wonderful." And then I looked over and somebody was editing something, and it was like it had to have been like an America's Funniest Home Videos because it was like somebody trying to walk a cat on a leash. And so I looked over, and in front of like 4 people that I was in front of a room full of editors and like 4 people I was interviewing in front of, I looked over and I went, "Oh, Kitty!" I put my hand on my chest. I was like, "Oh!" I was like,
I love cats.
I can only hope that this woman is one of us and she is a cat person.
Did you wear your cat shirt to the interview?
I did not. I
Oh,
usually try to
man.
keep that under wraps, but
Tried to bury the lead.
I did. I think I drove it home though because like my next interview, so they called me. I'm like, I didn't get that. And like a week and a half, they call me. They're like, "We want you to come back for a second interview." I didn't notice until I got there and parked that I had cat hair like all over my pants. I was wearing like black pants, and I was like, "Well, this is what it is." I mean, I'm just going to show them who I am now. And so I went up and I'd met this woman a couple times. I'd talked to her on the phone. I felt like I knew her, right? And I felt like we were like friends. And so like I walked in and she like walked towards me like she was going to hug me. And so like I kind of like moved like I was going to hug her. But then I was like, this is a job interview, so I like pulled back and like
that's a no.
kind of put my arm out, but she didn't put her arm out, so then I was just like, "Hi."
Oh.
So it was this really weird
that,
handshake,
like,
hug, shoulder move.
Should we high five?
Oh, no.
No. Got it.
Finger guns.
Fine.
Finger guns.
That's fine. But you know
thumbs.
what? They called me back a week later and they were like, "You got the job." So
Yeah.
I started on
Happy
Monday.
ending.
It was fine. But
It's
I don't interview well.
Did you just see me like dribble all over myself?
Did not.
Like alcohol.
You can add that to your shame receipt.
So
There
I
you
have
go.
a new shame receipt to share.
Receipt?
doing a live show and try to go for my White Claw.
You got a good wet crotch
I
happening.
know. I feel like I
See,
look
we
like
we got the
I
wine
wet
for
myself.
free. So there you go.
That's going to translate real well for our at-home
Yeah,
audience.
they're gonna love this.
Well, can we talk about the fact that this episode will technically air next Wednesday for our listeners at home that couldn't make it, and that next Thursday is Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So I shared with you guys the fact that there is a zoo in El Paso that will let you name a cockroach after your ex and then feed it to meerkats.
Listen. Our
I have so
audience,
much joy over this.
They know us so well because that has been shared on our Facebook group.
like 7 times.
We've had a
So
direct
many
message. So
People
many
are like,
times.
"Have you seen this? Have you seen this?" We're like,
Yeah.
we've seen it and we approve.
And
Yeah.
we approve of this.
So
Yes.
2 thumbs way up. Whoever that person is a marketing genius.
Yeah.
They need a raise because
Expert
it's
level.
everywhere.
Expert
And
level.
It's perfect. I mean, do you guys like even celebrate Valentine's Day? Do you have a worse Valentine's Day gift? Is it a thing for you guys?
We don't really, Chris and I don't really celebrate many holidays and not for like any other reason than we just kind of like, if I want to get him something, I feel like I should just get him something, and that's kind of how we are.
Okay.
And, you know, we kind of have everything we need, so we're not big on like celebrating holidays with gifts and things. You know, maybe on a rare occasion we maybe do like a dinner or something like that, but yeah,
We're just
not-
lazy.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all
Yeah.
it is. It's
Yeah.
like we're lazy. I've got lipstick all over this microphone.
I just,
And so we'll do dinner. Maybe we'll do like a gift or two, but like we don't do anything big. I did have somebody I think completely forget it was Valentine's Day. And I was
How do
just
you-
like, that's great.
They
That's
just
great.
didn't know it was the
Weed is how you forget.
Oh,
Lots
right.
of weed. That's how you
copious
forget.
amounts of weed.
It's Valentine's Day.
That'll
I
do
was
it.
So it's just like a normal
I was
like
like,
Tuesday.
this is fine. This
Yeah.
is fine. I feel fine about this. I'm not seething with rage on the inside. It's fine.
Totally normal.
I got the silent treatment one year for Valentine's
Happy
Day.
Valentine's.
That was that was good. I was like, I'm gonna enjoy this beef bourguignon on my own, I guess. But
Yikes.
yeah, I think that's
What
my
did you
worst.
do?
What
don't
did
know.
What
What
did
did
you
you
do?
Oh my goodness. No, I think it's just that normal, like, long-term couple stuff where you're just like, well, I'm just not going to talk to you.
Oh.
And then it's
What? Is that a thing?
Actually,
that, like,
it's like-
long-term couples
Chris,
do?
that's not a thing. Wherever you're at, that's not a
I
thing.
don't know that.
No, I mean, it gets to that point, so hopefully you never get there. But
You're like,
eventually
it gets there.
it does.
It
It
gets
gets there, and then you don't realize like that actually is a gift at some point. You're like, that's when you're
The
like,
gift of shutting the fuck up.
maybe
Thank you
maybe
so
this
much.
is end game, because I'm like, this is actually preferable because I don't have to listen to
This is
whatever.
perfect, actually.
But
And that's the day you knew the divorce was
yeah,
imminent.
I was like, maybe
Yeah.
it's time to be on my own. So, but no, Valentine's Day was big in my house.
It was big in my house growing up. Like, my mom
Yeah.
always got us Valentine's Day gifts. In fact, I
My
remember
dad did.
vividly the year that she did not. And I was like, excuse me. I mean, I was like 13 or 14.
She's got it in her diary. Dear diary,
My
mother
mom-
did not send gifts today.
Number one, how dare you?
It was last year.
Last year. Yeah, I do it because my mom used to get us like gifts every year. She'd get us like boxes of chocolate or cards or whatever.
That's what my dad did. He used to take my
yeah.
little brother out and get us all, like, all the girls in the family, my sister, my mom, me, and he would get like this big bouquet of flowers, and he would address it from Juan the pool boy, which I'm
I
like,
fucking love that.
That's cute.
That's
I fucking love
I think
that.
that's so
yes, and they
cute.
still
It's
keep
so
that
good.
up. And it's like my mom's lover named Juan, the pool boy,
I like
gets her
it.
flowers
I think
every
that's
Valentine's
cute.
Day. I'm like,
That's so
amazing.
I
cute.
don't know what that says about my parents' marriage, but I'm kind of happy about that.
You know what? It's working for him. Just let it go.
It's
Just
like
let it go.
36 years. Yeah.
Well, if it works,
See?
it works. Let's
Yeah.
not judge it.
Yeah.
I was the youngest of 7, so we were poor until I was about 10 when everybody else was gone. So we didn't get shit for shit. I'm all like, I remember my 10th birthday. I got like a 10-speed bike. We went on vacation.
Oh,
like
shit.
everything.
Somebody got a raise.
happened.
Like, now that
No,
your shitty
it was
kids
like,
are out of the way.
my closest brother is 10 years older than me. That's what it is.
Oh, got
so
it.
that was like the last of the child support checks were done right there, and it was like, yeah, cashing in on that single child life. Suddenly, I
Yeah.
was like, this is what's up.
Nice.
Yeah, I
had
started
to
living at 10.
I had to explain what latchkey kids were too. There's this guy that I'm talking to on Tinder. He's like, he's from Russia, which I've been on like cold medicine all week this week. I don't know why I'm telling you this story. It's so fucking random.
Still is.
But-
This is gonna be a great episode.
No, I know. Well, his name's like Alexi, and he kept like pushing to meet up this week, and obviously we had to get this show ready for all you people, and
you
then
people.
and then I typed out, I'm so glad I didn't send this. I thought it was fucking hilarious, but I said, quit rushing me.
I wish you had sent that. I really, really do.
And then I was like, I'm not trying to be Stalin, but then I was like, no, I erased that too, but
You should have sent both of them.
I don't know why cold medicine makes me like punny. I usually fucking hate puns. They're so stupid.
Those
Do
are
you
the
wanna-
best dad
Do you
jokes
want
ever.
to
So
share with
into
the
it.
audience what you said to the woman behind the counter whenever you went to buy your cold medicine?
Well, I don't. Yeah, I don't joke with pharmacists because they don't. Especially at like 8 a.m. And I was so sick, and I'm sorry if you like hear it. I'm trying not to breathe in anyone's general direction, but I went to the counter very, very sick earlier this week and just plopped my driver's license down and said, I want the stuff they make meth out of. That's the shit that works. All that stuff that's like out that anyone can buy, that stuff is garbage. It doesn't do anything. You have to go to the pharmacy to get all the stuff.
The meth
if they
kind,
make
yeah.
meth out of it, then you know it's like the good shit.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't think it's funny if you ask for it like that.
It was not. It was like
No.
not a joke.
No, the little woman was just like looked at me and I was like, I'm really sick.
You're like, I'm
you
kidding.
Can tell.
I'm not going to make
kidding.
meth out
I'm not
of
gonna
this.
make meth. Like, here's my ID. Just like give me the good stuff.
She took a picture of it.
Yeah.
Suspect.
Suspicious. So yeah.
So if you guys have listened to our show, you know that we do a fuck, marry, kill every week on our show. This week, we thought it would be really fun to ask you guys if you have any suggestions for a fuck, marry, kill. So if you do,
If you have a celeb
if you have a celeb,
or someone in the audience or someone you know? Let's make it real awkward up in here.
Yeah, let's make it
Yikes.
weird.
That would be
Let's do it.
really awkward.
So does anyone have any suggestions?
We
Yell them out.
We sprouted a few. Oh,
Ted Bundy. Oh,
God.
that's a good one.
Topical.
Topical
Yeah.
serial killers.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, God. Should we?
We'll keep it weird.
Hannibal Lecter. Okay,
Okay.
that's a fictional
That's a fake
serial
one.
but I'll go with it.
I'll
That's
go with
fine.
it. Ted Bundy, Hannibal Lecter, and who else? Name a third one.
Whoa! Well, and
That's
this was
also
the day-
good. He is also like probably
He's
a
probably a
sociopath.
sociopath. Like,
Yikes.
99%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
I know,
Okay. So
this
we
might
got a
break
Ted
us.
Bundy, a Hannibal
Chew on
Lecter.
this.
Okay.
This may
All
break
right.
us.
Mm.
I'm broken. I'm hurt.
Oh my God! What do you do with
All
that?
right.
Okay,
I know
Teresa,
what
I
I'm
know.
going to do. I got it.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
got
go
it.
for it.
All right. I am going to fuck Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, dude, I got an Old Spice crush on Anthony Hopkins.
I wasn't going Anthony Hopkins. I was going the TV show. That dude.
That dude.
That dude's
What's
kinda
his
hot.
name? Is like Madsen.
There you go.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Chris.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna fuck him.
Okay.
I've seen him fuck on the show, and he didn't kill them.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna think I'm okay.
So I'm the weirdo
gonna
that
do
has
that.
a crush on Anthony
No,
Hopkins.
no. Yes, you are. Like 100%.
I feel it. I feel it.
Thank
Uh,
you.
I feel you.
Kelly's
yeah.
with you in the front row.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and fuck Hannibal. I'm going to marry Bezos because he's having a
Yeah.
very amicable split and about
I
to
like
make
it.
that woman the richest woman on the
$69
planet.
billion.
So I'm like, that seems fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he works a lot, I feel like, so he's probably gone a lot.
Right.
That's fine.
You get like a bunch
And
of
then
nice
I'm gonna
houses.
kill Ted Bundy because fuck that guy.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
mediocre in every way.
He
Fight me.
is.
He's so
At
he's
me.
not that hot.
And if someone
He's
doesn't
not.
wax that goddamn unibrow, I spent the entire time watching Ted Bundy tapes. Like, if somebody doesn't fix those eyebrows,
Right,
his eyebrows were
immediately.
heinous, heinous.
Especially heinous.
Yes. So I'm gonna
These
go ahead and
crimes.
kill him. Kill that guy.
I'm fully on board with that. Because you
Thank you.
fucking Ted Bundy's the real killer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, at least Hannibal's fake, like in a fictional character. So I can live with that fuck.
Make sure he brushes his teeth like real good.
Oh, God.
First.
You may have just ruined it.
Sorry.
I haven't seen the TV show though. Is it?
But it's
are
okay
his
because
teeth
you like
fucked
Anthony
up?
Hopkins, so I don't
I
think
do like
no,
Anthony
his teeth
Hopkins.
aren't fucked up, Christina. He eats people.
Oh, yes. Got it. All right. I got it.
I love this. Yeah, and then I'm marrying Bezos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to be the same. I thought I would switch it up because oftentimes I am kind of
You're the wild card.
a wild card.
Yeah.
There was a little piece of me.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh, I'm scared.
E.
Anthony,
you gonna fuck-
Anthony Hopkins. He's so cultured. I don't know.
Oh.
I feel like we could talk about a lot of
He
things.
would draw
eat
the
you.
best
He wouldn't
sketches
eat
of you.
me.
Amazing
Exactly.
sketches.
You're married.
And he obviously likes cooking. So like we'd have like really like
You'd learn new recipes
I
together.
love so much in
I
common.
know we could just hang out in the kitchen while he's cooking.
You're like, is
Be
this
really
found-
romantic.
I found a new recipe for thigh today. You're going to love it.
And I don't need to know. It tastes like chicken, so it's fine. It's fine.
Don't ask too many questions is the key to making a solid marriage
Exactly.
with Hannibal Lecter. Yeah, okay.
So
All
you guys want to dive into stories? And by the way, great suggestions. Thank you. That was
Yeah,
great.
it was good.
That was good. All right. So
Diving
who wants to
into
go
stories?
first? I've got a long one, but it's worth it.
I got a short one.
It's worth it, you guys.
Start us off, Cassie.
Okay, I'll do it.
All right, break the
All
seal.
right, look, I'm the only one who brought a phone out because this is how we do it in normal life. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know we were going to
We were trying to be like
professional.
fancy.
Oh, I
I
printed
know.
things.
Well, I mean, we're usually on our phones. We're also usually in like bra and sweats and like hungover or.
But that's what I was going to wear tomorrow. Was that
Okay.
no?
Great.
No?
No, we're
I
all
mean,
on
we
board
could
with
make that
Got
a
it.
thing. We could make it
I mean,
a bra
Sell
party.
more tickets.
Butts in seats. Butts in seats. Bras.
we're wearing bras tomorrow.
There you
well,
go.
I am wearing a bra.
Everyone
Come back tomorrow to see.
So,
there we go.
all right. So this one we got from a Reddit post that we got a submission from. My worst date, it was a first date too, was a guy who described his perfect relationship as follows. He'd come home from work to a home-cooked meal every night, and he'd eat it on the couch while he played video games. Oh, he sounds like a wiener.
I think I've dated
Wait,
him.
who's? Yeah, no,
I
did too. I did too at like 19, but like I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, no,
thank you, sir.
Okay.
His significant other would watch and give encouragement, of course.
So, okay, she's not allowed to have her own. I have to watch you play a video game.
That's kind
we
of.
can't even do a 2-player.
I know. I'm like,
This is kind of how Chris and I
Fine.
play, because I actually am shit at video games. So
I
I
am too.
actually enjoy watching him play. It's weird. This is why YouTube channels are so big right now, right?
yeah.
Good job. Oh, way to beat him.
Is that what they say on YouTube?
Don't know.
I don't play video games.
He then proceeded to tell me that most women suck, and he would never want that, which greatly disappointed him. He then went on to rant about how much he hated his mother. Fun. I asked
No
myself
red
why
flags there.
I didn't leave right then, but we were at my favorite pizza place, and I was starving.
Okay.
So you stay for pizza.
Yeah.
Stay for food.
I mean, how? Like what?
My pizza slice came after what felt like an eternity. He then proceeded to ask me out of the clear blue sky what was the weirdest thing I had ever put in my vagina.
Why does that come up at a fucking Pizza Hut? Or like, what is
Or
that?
at all.
Where
Like,
kind
what
of
a weird
segue?
thing.
Like,
What a weird thing to bring up, period.
I've never been asked that.
Never. I've never been asked that.
There's no reason to ever ask
I
that.
mean, knock on wood. Like,
I kind of feel like
So.
I might have
Don't do
been,
it.
but I don't. I
What?
don't think it was at like a pizza place. I mean, it was at an appropriate place to ask that question.
somebody's asked you that? Were you in bed?
Yes.
All right.
And somebody said, what's the weirdest thing you put in your vagina?
Yes, which I didn't have an answer. I haven't put anything weird in there, but I'm still like, I mean, there's an appropriate place to ask that question, and there's a not appropriate place, right?
So anyway,
Like a pizza place is weird.
this is all weird. That's all weird.
Okay, all right, I'm the weirdo that's gonna ask that question. That's fine.
I mean, you said it. I swear to God, my jaw dropped from shock. I gasped and almost choked on my damn pizza. I must have blocked it out because I have absolutely no recollection of what I said in response. I just remember thinking to myself, this guy is an absolute fuckwad, and I needed to bail ASAP. Oh God, I just remembered he insisted on walking me to my car because it was late and getting dark. I remember panicking and just saying,
You're the
no.
one I'm scared of. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
no.
don't need to walk me.
Yeah, no thanks, sir. And booked it in the opposite direction from him. Oh, man.
Oh my God.
Running from your date is not a good sign.
No, but at least
Physically running it.
he didn't freaking like come up behind her like
Like
Oh.
that
the
other
first-
story. At least you didn't
I
follow
saw-
her home and put her in a chokehold jokingly, like that other story
That
you
is the
told.
worst.
I That got was the worst. jokes. I got jokes.
Okay, should I tell this one? It's
for it.
long, so
We're here for it.
I'm here. Go for it.
bear with.
You got it.
Let's try not to spill this one
Okay.
up.
While I was in my early 20s living in Los Angeles, I was fairly new to dating. I had been complaining to my girlfriends about how all my dates seemed to blur together. Different face, but same outcome and same conversations. Let's get drinks. We talked, and then they try to get me drunk and try to hook up with me.
You guys, I had to put
Did
a
you
pin
write
in this. No, but it sounds like me. I started noticing, and maybe it's like a year in, that I have bits now on dates. It's almost like I'm like, am I prepping for a tight 5 at the comedy store or what? But I'm like, I've told the same fucking stories because everyone asks the same fucking questions on every single date. And so I'm like, oh, okay, hold for laughs here. And then like move on to the next thing. And I'm like, oh, like I'll just throw in this self-deprecating bit and like maybe I'll be a little vulnerable here. I'm like, it's like a whole fucking thing. So I'm like, it's the Christina show starring Christina. And it's
I mean,
so
I would
terrible.
buy that. You should
It's
really
the
try and get a
same
Netflix
date
special.
over and over and over and over again.
I think there is a show here.
I think so.
I think there is a show
We're going to
here.
make it. All right. We'll talk later. Put a
Okay,
pin
great,
in that. All
great.
right.
Trademark.
So, I wanted something substantial, not that. A day or two later, I found myself at an art exhibit opening where a seemingly cute guy approached me. Seemingly cute. Interesting.
From a distance.
A Monet, if you will.
Yes.
It's an impressionist. Okay.
Oh, I like these flowers. What the fuck is this?
That's not a flower. We seemed to click, and he asked me out for breakfast the next morning. Oh my God, daylight plus no booze. Check and check. I don't know about
I thought he was asking her for breakfast the next morning. Like, hey, you want to go
stay
out
at
for
night,
breakfast
and then
the next
we'll go to
morning?
breakfast? No,
Yeah, no.
I don't know that I want daylight, and I definitely don't want no booze.
No, my jokes don't work very well in
And
daytime.
dark is my friend.
Yeah.
I like that.
Me too.
Soft
Hello,
lighting.
darkness, my old
Soft
friend.
lighting. The date goes amazing. We talk so much, we barely remember to eat our food. We spend 5 hours chatting in a diner where he expresses he's going to a party in the Hollywood Hills that evening and wanted to know if I'd like to join him. He prefaces it with saying, just so you know, you might see some stuff.
Oh. Ooh.
Now, I worked at a very wild company where my coworkers would tell me stories of Hollywood parties with mountains of cocaine. I am a huge
getting
fucking
good.
square and really, all caps, needed to know what this looked like. Can you sit on it? Can you climb it? Just what the fuck does it look like? I knew I couldn't ask if that's what he was implying, but I'd see. But 21-year-old me needed to find out.
Oh, is she from like Idaho? That'd be so cute.
It just says she was living here, so I don't know. I don't know where she came from.
Sounds like
I mean,
Idaho.
where'd you
come
I
from?
would look
So
at a
cute.
mountain of cocaine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do it, but I would look at it.
Yeah, no, totally.
You guys are like, no comment. I said that's fine and told him I'd be coming from a show that evening, so as long as it was still going on, I'd join him after. My show ends, and I text him for the address and call an Uber. Pre-Uber X, where Uber was ridiculously expensive and only had black cars. I really couldn't afford the Uber, but again, potential mountain sighting. # worth it.
Okay. All right.
Mid Uber ride there, he texts that there is a $50 cover at the door, but he supposes he will cover it for me. I suppose you fucking will.
Yes.
Okay.
You
Yes,
asked
sir.
me. Yeah, you're covering this.
I suppose I'll cover this for
I'm
you.
on my way, so hope
Yeah.
you have that money. He then informs me there is a theme for tonight's party. Also, guys, fucking this is information you should have given me at breakfast.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah,
theme?
yeah.
I need to be ready.
No, how
Rude.
many texts did we exchange about like what we were wearing tonight? It was like crazy. And
we
there's
went
no
to prom
theme.
for
New
It's
Year's.
just wear regular clothes and look decent on
We went
stage.
to prom for New Year's, which was themed.
Yeah.
And, like, we spent so much time
It was
shopping,
an
getting
entire
ready.
day.
It was a very
Yeah.
intense
It was-
process.
yeah.
I need hours. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do in the back of an
No,
Uber.
you're done.
You're
Like,
on the
you're
way.
gonna go not prepared. And as we've discussed before in this podcast, there is nothing worse than not being dressed appropriately for a party.
It's the
There's
worst.
not. Okay. He then informs me, and it's Arabian Nights.
What?
Okay. Also very specific.
So specific.
Jesus. I'm immediately excited because I know I'm going to want to talk so much shit, and equally disappointed because I won't be able to because they're all his friends. Now I'm dolled up like Marilyn Monroe coming from a rockabilly show.
Oh, Jesus.
So yeah,
Oh,
mentally
Jesus.
prepared to stand out.
Oh, my God.
I arrive and let the racist party begin.
Oh.
Everyone
oh.
is dressed like Aladdin and Jasmine, swishy pants, pointy shoes, I Dream of Genie attire, turbans, little vests, and some carrying around stuffed animals of Abu from Aladdin.
Oh, my God.
Weird white people party. That's what she wrote. I like a
Oh
good
my
themed party, but just wow. No mountain sighting yet.
Oh.
We turn a corner and enter the dance room. The lights are off / very dim. Music is loud, and the perimeter of the room is lined with couches, with what looks like Aladdin and Jasmine cosplayers lounging across them, almost in piles. I elbow my date and say, "What, are we in a harem?" No response. So I do it again. "What, are we in a harem?" No response.
That always
Pause for
works
laughs.
for me.
Pause for laugh.
And then she says,
Repeat the joke.
"Whatever, my mom thinks I'm funny." We start dancing, and I feel the straps of my halter dress begin to fall. I go to tie them back and feel his hands unzipping my dress in the middle of this party. Without hesitation, I punch him square in the
Yeah.
jaw.
Yes,
I've
ma'am.
never done that before and never done that again. He holds his chin and says, "I'll be back for you later."
No, you weren't. No, you won't.
That's a threat.
No, thank you.
Perplexed by his Terminator-esque comment, I sit on the sofa. I sit on a sofa in the center of the room that no one else seems to be on. No one I'm friends with are awake. Okay. But I determined to stay another 30 minutes because mountain. I pop onto Facebook Messenger trying to connect with anyone, and after a half hour, I call an Uber and finally look up from my phone. My peripherals kick in, and I'm sitting dead center in an Aladdin-themed orgy.
That just happened.
All I could think was,
Where's
oh
the mountain?
shit, I hope I'm not making a weird face. I don't want to ruin the vibe for anyone. That's the nicest thing you could have thought right then.
She's like, oh no,
Sorry, I'm just gonna.
I'm gonna grab my coat.
I
totally
tried
fine.
to step around some people as nonchalantly as possible, but still managed to get followed out by a guy who said to me, "Oh my God, you didn't know what you were being invited to, did you?" Me, oh, was it that obvious? Him, want me to help you find your friend? Me, no.
No, thank you, sir.
I got in my Uber and went home. 2 hours later, my phone rings and it's my date. Hey, party's over. Want me to come over and we can fool around? No. What planet are you from? It always makes me laugh because full circle, I went out with him because I didn't think he'd try to sleep with me and he ends up taking me to an orgy. Never saw that mountain. LOL. And yes, I am now fully aware what it looks like. Not as exciting as I imagined. Thanks for reading. You guys are killing it.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's a good one. Whoa.
Wow.
That is not the turn I thought it was
I
going to take.
I feel like okay, and perhaps it's because I'm Midwestern, but I feel like it's just manners to tell people you're going to take them to an orgy.
Manners.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
It's like he let her know what the theme of the party is.
But altogether too late.
But buried the lead.
Buried the lead. Definitely was
Very
like
hard.
you should just like be like, oh, and by the way, it's an orgy.
By
Whatever.
the way,
You know?
Well,
people.
unzipping a
Polite
girl's
manners.
dress in the middle of a room when she doesn't know what the fuck is going on is never a safe bet.
No.
That's assault.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Seems
Don't
weird.
do that. But yeah. But if you should have said it. Yeah. Okay. So, all right, mine's I don't know. Mine's very silly. So I hope you guys like it. Like so many of us, I match with this guy. He's a little bit older, 33 to my 22, but nothing I'm uncomfortable with. We have amazing texting chemistry, so we decided to meet for dinner. Well, it was damn near silent. Like, even for a first date, this was bad. But we had such an easy conversation over text, so I tried to power through. It did not get better. So we wrap up. He walks me to my car, gives me a quick side hug, and practically sprints away.
I hate a side hug.
I know, it's so...
A Christian hug. We've discussed this.
I know. Yeah, it's the worst.
Better than a hand hug.
Yes.
Hand hug.
So I chalk this up to another mediocre date and think that's another one and done deal. He did not agree. Almost immediately, he's texting and telling me how he's never had a date that great and how well the conversation flowed and how he thought we connected so well. And we still do have great texting communication. So he invites me for Wingstop and a movie next week, and I accept. I love, dude, they have the best fucking French fries there, right?
I mean, I fucking love wings, but we've had this conversation about like eating messy food on any
yeah.
date.
Any
Like,
Well,
date.
I mean, here's the thing. If you, I will go to Wingstop with that first date because I'm like, oh, I don't care. That
I'm
kinda
here for
date
the
was,
food.
like,
You're there
kinda
for the
lame,
you're
and
there
I'm
for
like,
the fries.
well, I get maybe free wings, so that's good.
And those fries.
What's your flavor? Are you like a
Nice.
buffalo girl
I'm
or
a
like
buffalo
a
girl.
garlic
I'm
parmesan?
traditional.
All right,
No,
me
I don't.
too.
I don't go like crazy. Like, don't get like weird
I
with
want
the
the
Thai
blueberry
flavors and shit like
habanero.
that. Just like buffalo wings. It's weird. Okay, so then he says, really, I think it was less about the date and more about those fries. Yes! He says, well, it's another dud. Nearly silent lunch followed by a silent movie, ended with another quick side hug at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Womp womp.
Two side
friend?
hugs.
Is
two
a friend
dates,
doing the
two
texting?
side hugs.
Two. No.
All right.
Yeah. Ladies and gents, now is the time where you'd expect I'd cut my losses and tell him I wasn't interested.
You would.
Oh, no.
You
Yeah,
would
you would.
expect that.
That's what I'm
You would.
expecting.
This-
The end.
This chick's like me. She's been single for
She's
a
like, I'm
little
putting
bit.
the Girl Scout effort in.
She says, however, he suggested a third date with my 3 favorite things:
Oh.
pizza, wine, and true crime.
Oh.
Come on.
But here, look,
might have
that,
said
that
yes.
sounds like a good night alone for me.
True.
I'm just
I
gonna
could get my own
order some.
pizza.
I'll do that by myself. I don't need you to do that for me.
Yeah, but then
I mean, especially if you're not gonna talk to anybody.
You're also missing the 4th favorite thing, which might be getting laid. So, like that.
But do you want to get laid by side hug guy? No.
No.
I don't know. Maybe she doesn't say
What
if he's
would
kinda
that
cute.
lay be like?
Well,
Describe it to me.
we'll get there.
Oh, all right.
I also decided maybe he was just awkward in public and would be more open at his house. I fucking love how like women like try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt.
Yep.
We're always like, well, maybe it was this, when it's like, no, it was
We are
this.
perpetually living that meme.
Yeah.
This is fine.
This is
Everything's
fine.
on fire.
Everything's on fire.
This is fine.
I show up and I am surprised. He lived in a studio apartment, and every wall that wasn't taken up by a TV or kitchen equipment was floor to shoulder height, filled with video games, comic books, or curio cabinets of action figures. You know, here's the thing. Also went on another date with another guy. It's been a busy few weeks. Where he just moved into his place, and so there's boxes and just shit everywhere. And the only thing that were unpacked were books. And I was like, that's kind of cool, because I feel like you see
Important.
where your priorities
Yeah.
are. And I'm like, okay, so his books were the first thing that he unpacked and took care of.
Right.
So that's kind of a cool thing.
Or he accidentally like dropped his weed pen down in the book box.
Well, also could be true.
Yeah. Or he's just like me. I always unpack my books first, just because I think
Well,
it's like satisfying.
If
take your
that's
books
still
out and
cool.
put 'em on the
I
shelf.
still now I have a crush on you too.
Oh, okay,
So
great.
there you go.
I
We'll
also
talk after
unpacked my
this.
books first too.
Cassie's like, wait.
Yeah, nothing wrong with having tons of comic books and action figures. It's like she says, okay, clearly he's got a hobby. I just hit the throttle on the Cabernet Shiraz blend and powered through. It's not for you. It's not for you. Like
Yeah.
there's an anime.
But I feel like this is a lot of powering
There's a-
through. I
there's
think
a
she
Beth
said this
for
twice.
every dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
dog for every Beth.
But I think she said powering through twice. If you got to power through more than once, it's time to go home.
That's what it's time for the side hug and leave.
Yeah, you Christian hug that and get out.
Here's where it gets good. We watched a couple episodes of Evil Genius, which, by the way,
Boring AF.
Yeah. When he eventually suggests we watch a movie, sure, cool. As we're scrolling, I notice the 40-year-old virgin. I start talking about how I'd never actually seen it. Although I knew the movie wasn't absolutely amazing, I've always wanted to see it because when it came out, I was so sheltered and wasn't allowed to. He suggested we keep looking, but I bugged him enough, so we turned it on.
Oh no.
About 15 minutes
She
in.
missed all the signs. Like, all the signs were there.
About 15 minutes in, we start making out, and he suggests we head to his room. Sure, awesome, let's do it. Y'all, his room was empty, save a wall-to-ceiling glass case with action figures, a twin bed, and like 7 knee-high stacks of CDs. That's
Pause.
really specific.
When was the last time you did it on a twin bed?
Yeah, she says he's a 6-foot-tall man sleeping in a twin bed.
Ooh.
That's... Ooh.
Have you ever cuddled on a twin bed?
You
It's
can't.
just- you're like,
There's
"Ooh."
no room.
It's like real close.
That's all you can do is cuddle on a twin bed.
You can't really do. Yeah. I mean, well, never mind.
No,
That's- I'll,
you started the sentence.
I'll save it for off air. She says, "Okay, cool. I can roll with this." We keep moving, and he can't get it up. Well, this is awkward, but it happens.
It happens.
I'm definitely not going to make a big deal out of it because it's not a big deal. It's fine. So I'm getting dressed, and I can tell he's feeling bad. So I'm reassuring him that it's no big deal, especially after drinking.
Right.
He then lays on me.
She's so sweet.
So sweet.
This girl sounds so sweet.
It's probably not the wine. It's the fact he's never done this before. Literally never done this.
All the flags were there.
Ladies
They were.
and gentlemen, she says in all caps, I practically begged to watch the 40-year-old virgin with a 33-year-old virgin and then almost took his virginity.
And she's 22. She's 22.
22.
Sweetheart.
That's amazing. Oh my
But
God.
I
It couldn't be more awkward.
I feel for him, though. I feel
She
for
couldn't
them
have picked a
both.
weirder movie. He was probably like all stoked. He to him, it was on his like third fucking amazing date with a girl.
It was going to be
She's
like the
no, I
third.
really want to watch the movie about an awkward virgin.
Oh,
I know.
honey.
It makes me sad. Well,
He was
I
like,
wanna
I'm
know
going
what
to come
happened
again tonight after another side hug.
I think I need to follow up on that, though. Like, I need to follow
I
up.
do.
Like, was there another date? Like,
No,
did you?
no.
she did. She said, needless to say, we didn't see each other again.
All right.
So
Not
Yeah.
needless to say. Not needless to say. You were on your third date with
I
that
know.
guy.
Touche.
You
I
need to
know. She was-
outline that.
you know, you're forgiving to a point. You know, and everybody has their breaking point. So I guess
Hers was 33-year-old virgin.
Yeah. So there you go.
All right.
What's up, everybody? Okay, do you guys know that even if we all ate the same and exercised the same, that we would all still look completely different? I'm Lacey Green. I'm a super trainer with Body. That's BODI.com. I'm telling you, this is something that you need in your life. The app isn't just about having a perfect body, because what is that anyway? It's about what we call health esteem. Feeling good about yourself right now, just as you are, as you work on the person you are becoming. Using Body's tools to find your version of happy and healthy. Body isn't just some software. It's people. It's trainers, nutrition, and mindset experts, and a community of other people just like you and me. And they even have my program for beginners only, which you have to try even if you've never worked out a day in your life. I'll get you off the couch and started on day one, finding the joy and dropping the judgment. And don't take my word for it. You can try it for free right now for 14 days at body.com. That's body with an I.com. Let's get up, get moving, and feel good. Whoop, whoop.
Okay, so we've got our crazy in love story for you guys. And usually one of us will do a crazy in love story and the other two will comment when we'll lead the discussion. This time we've decided to all do one together.
Everybody in the audience gets to see my murder notes now.
Yeah, our
Since
murder
I talk
notes.
about them a
our
lot.
murder notebooks.
I write like a murderer. That's the problem.
Never take notes.
No,
I
you
always
don't.
Like I
Because you're
wing
weird.
it.
You've got a
I got
serial killer
weird,
brain.
Weird
Yeah.
brain. Well, first of all, I'd like to say that I learned that Jerry Lee Lewis is not the same person as Jerry Lewis.
How did that research go?
Which for the longest time I was like, when is it going to come to the part where he like helps out the kids?
Yeah, I don't understand.
I was so
When
I
does
was
this
like
turn
I was
around?
convinced. I was telling somebody, I was like, yeah, we're doing Jerry Lee Lewis, which then I also found out that Jerry Lewis supposedly was mean to the kids.
What?
Yeah,
Was
he
he
like hit
really?
some of them.
What?
Yeah. So, but it's a
Wheelchair?
different story, and we're not doing Jerry Lewis. We're doing Jerry Lee Lewis.
Which actually, the Wikipedia page for Jerry Lee Lewis does say not to be confused with Jerry Lewis.
Yeah,
It says
well,
at the top.
I
Up
was
top.
like, and that's the thing is that I think like I knew they were different people, but I didn't know that they were different people.
Yeah, Jerry
So-
Lewis from, Lewis and Clark.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's that one. Fantastic. So yeah, we're going to be talking today about Jerry Lee Lewis. And if you think that we are going to be talking about the fact that he married his 13-year-old cousin when he was 23, which is super gross.
We're going to talk about that.
Yes. But we're also going to talk about a couple of his other wives. That won't be the focus of this segment. Because Jerry Lee Lewis was married 7 times?
7 times.
7 times.
Oh, and he's
Who
also
has the
not
time?
dead.
Yeah,
He's
no,
not
he's not.
dead. I thought he was dead.
I thought he was dead too. That's the
No.
other Jerry Lewis. He's dead, right?
He is dead.
He is definitely dead.
Yes, definitely
Jerry
dead.
Lee Lewis still alive.
Still
Yeah,
alive.
still
We're
alive.
keeping him separate
Alive.
for you guys.
Old.
You're learning
Alive
so
and
much.
old.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to kick us off,
Sure.
Cassie?
Jerry Lewis was born on September 29th in 1935 in a small northeast Louisiana town called Faraday, Louisiana. He grew up with 2 parents. They were moderately poor and, not wealthy, didn't come from a lot of money.
But he's related to
Jimmy Swaggart.
exactly. I didn't know that either.
I wasn't even going to bring it up because I'm like, do people really know who Jimmy Swaggart
He was like crazy televangelist.
Yeah,
he was
no,
like
I-
Soup's famous,
I mean,
right?
like, I grew up Christian, like Soup's Christian. So, like, of course I knew that. But
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, so he did
I
have
do
like,
think it's an important footnote because it played a lot into like his performing style.
Yeah, it was
That,
like
Definitely.
super Pentecostal.
yeah. So yeah, very religious family. His father mortgaged the family farm to buy him his first piano when he was 5 years old. That is a serious commitment level.
That's
Withhold your awes.
yeah.
You're gonna pull those back real quick.
Well, no, I mean, I didn't see anything about
father,
his
that's
parents.
sweet.
His parents were good parents.
That's a good
He's
awe.
just like
That's the
You
kind
keep
of
that awe. You have as many awes as you want. That's a
That-
worthy awe.
That's the kind of kid who should have been left on the farm. That guy should have never left the farm. He would have done a lot less damage if he had just stayed on the farm. Just saying. Some people just need to stay on the farm.
yeah.
But yeah, he grew up with music. Music was part of his life. It was something that he was, kind of almost born into. Like you said, Jimmy Swaggart was, part of his family. So he was raised in this very, musical, household. And as he was growing up, his mom had decided that she didn't really want him to, go down this crazy path of music and sent him to a Bible college where he was swiftly kicked out for playing a boogie woogie rendition of My God is Good.
I would like to listen to that recording though.
Yeah.
Where does that exist?
That's the devil's music.
So he broke onto the music scene, partnering with artists such as Johnny Cash. He moved to Memphis and started recording at Sun Studios. Johnny garnered the nickname Killer as...
Yeah, how did he get that?
I'm going to tell you.
Because it got very ironic later.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you. So it does get very ironic later. But killer, funny enough, actually was something that was a very common post-war phrase in the area he grew up. And he was known by many people to call others that. Like, he'd call people killer. Hey, killer. Like, that was like a phrase that he said.
So is that
No.
like that
I don't like that
when
at
you're
all.
like, hey, chief?
like Chief Boot Knocker.
No,
Like,
you know what
you're
I
like-
mean? It's like that super condescending thing that guys do to each other.
Hey,
like,
killer.
Yeah.
hey, how's it going,
You know
chief?
what's funny?
Hey.
My boss calls me sister all the time. I think that's like a thing. He's like, hey, sis, or he's like, have a good one, sister. I'm like, cool. All right. cool. Brother.
I don't like killer as like a funny haha we went to war and killed a lot of people thing. I don't like that.
maybe.
It
I don't know.
seems like chief. It sounds like a shitty thing. It sounds like it's like the Nancy Pelosi
Really sticking
clap.
with that chief. That
Do
fucking
you know what I mean? It's like, hey, killer. You know? Totally that.
So anyway, it was a common slang term. Sorry.
Nope.
Didn't mean to hit your mic. Common slang term that was used quite a bit, but it's something that apparently he said quite a bit and he picked up as a nickname for him. And then also too, he kind of attributed it to his killer skills on the piano.
I fucking hate this guy
Oh
so
my God.
much.
Thank you for the hand jerk off. That's so good.
It applied.
He does. I don't know if you want to go into marrying his cousin.
I mean, I think it has to be addressed.
Yeah.
I think it has to be addressed.
So, by the way,
Well, I
at
mean,
21, 22,
23 is when he married her.
23.
Yeah, he's a decade older than her.
This is his third marriage.
23. This is his third marriage.
Third marriage.
He starts living with them, I think, his cousin's family,
Mm-hmm.
when she was 9 years old.
well, and at the time too, he was making $10,000 a performance, and in like 1950s money, that's like 1.2 billion. So I mean,
Approximately.
he's
Approximately.
rolling in the dough.
Yeah.
He's touring Europe. He's the shit. And then it comes out that he married his 13-year-old cousin, and they fucking kick him out of Europe. They're like,
Yeah. Go home.
GTFO immediately.
Yeah. But you
You're
know what?
done.
I feel like people were more appalled. I mean, it's all appalling, don't get me wrong. But
Yeah.
I feel like people were more appalled that she was his cousin than that she was 13.
I know.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
people were kind of like, if she was like 15, we'd be fine.
But
But
the funny thing is she does lie about being 15. That's the
I'm
thing.
like, 15's still not good.
No,
It's still not good.
But 15 in the 50s is like, I mean, like
No, don't say it.
22 now.
No.
It's not. It's not.
like
but-
1.3
I mean, it
billion.
isn't. But like at the time, exactly.
Because
I'm
of
here
inflation.
to translate.
Inflation.
Age inflation.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I mean, like, we've talked about this on this podcast before, but like, think about the last conversation you had with somebody who was 13. Think about it for like
No,
one
thank you.
moment. Would you marry that person? That person doesn't know shit about shit. Like they
I
don't know
wouldn't
anything.
let them watch my cat.
No, I wouldn't let them water my plants. They're gonna kill those plants.
Yeah.
Those plants
No.
are dead.
They're the worst.
Anyway,
Yeah. So
Myra,
okay,
right? Her name's
So
Myra.
Myra.
$10,000 a
Yeah,
year, like
10,000
per performance.
goes to like nothing. He's kicked out of
$250.
Europe.
He goes
$250,
quickly from $10,000 a performance to $250 by
which
the time it
is
comes to-
$1,700 in today's money.
Inflation.
Is that for real, or are you just making that number up?
Yes, it's
All right,
for
cool.
real.
Cool.
Are you being serious? You fucking remembered that?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait.
You can't do that. I thought you were being for real.
She believed you, then I
believed you,
I didn't. I
100%.
thought I knew for sure you were joking, and
I'm
then
sorry.
and it was like 100%.
100. You know, that's what I found the most, I think, in life is that you just like if you say something with confidence, enough people would believe you. You know?
Sink in it.
I mean, look at our current administration.
Ooh, hot take.
Hot take, spicy.
Okay.
Anyways, so then what happens next?
Oh, sorry.
You got
Back
the
to my
murder
notes.
notes, girls.
So basically, yeah, I mean, he is pretty much ousted from the music scene entirely. He is blacklisted until about the late 60s and the early 70s, which he then comes back on the music scene with as a country music star.
Yeah, he had like shit tons
Country
of number
music's-
one hits too.
Yeah,
like
nothing
a
I heard
string
of.
of them. Yeah, I hadn't heard of them either. I don't have a lot of country music in my background, but there were like 17 number one hits, which were like huge for that time.
They were like, country stars, we don't care. 13 sounds fine.
yeah,
I was gonna
Exactly.
say, I'm like, they're very forgiving. They're like, that's fine.
that's fine.
But he did stay. I think this is gross and not okay, but I think people were more forgiving of him the older he got because they stayed married for like a decade.
Yeah, they
or
actually
something
did.
like that. They stayed married for like a long
Really
time,
long
and so
time.
people were like, okay,
Had 2 children together
I
as
guess
well.
that's fine.
The problem is that like he started shooting speed into his stomach.
That's where you do it, right?
That's problematic. Yeah.
Really, like, you know, it's like you're like here, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna get high.
You're
or
mellow,
whatever, but
things
it's
are
like,
fine.
When you were taking like a giant syringe and dumping it in your stomach of speed, and you're that kind of
Probably
it's just
also wasn't a stranger to mountains of cocaine.
like,
No.
definitely has climbed
Definitely not.
that mountain
No.
once or twice. So yeah,
And his career of evil started.
Well, I think it's already started.
Yeah,
we're
it started
in. We're
yeah.
in the
Yeah.
career of
We're in
evil. He's a nefarious motherfucker already.
But
we're
the
there.
first real notable thing that came up was in September 1976 at his own birthday celebration. He accidentally finger quotations for those who aren't watching.
Yeah.
Accidentally shot his bassist in the chest and almost killed him.
yeah.
Norman Butch Owens does survive, but he does also sue him and wins $125,000 in the suit.
Good for you, Butch.
Later, just months after November of 1976, he was arrested outside of
Elvis
Elvis's
Presley's
Graceland.
house.
Yes.
Yes.
So he's arrested outside of Graceland, showed up with a gun.
And said he wanted to assassinate the king.
He's tried to kill Elvis like several times.
He
I
tried
feel
to.
like.
Yeah, he had a really huge beef with Elvis.
For
It's
like
a
no
little-
reason other
Oh.
than that, like Elvis was like, "I'm the king of rock and roll," and he was like, "I'm the king of rock and roll."
No,
Yeah.
sir, I am.
No, sir.
He had
No.
like a little
Like he
man
like wanted to
complex.
challenge him to a duel. Like I feel like if that was the thing, he would have done
He
it.
Totally.
slaps him on the face with his glove.
Yeah.
Sir.
So the next thing that happens, he ends up getting married again, but there's not a lot of information on it, and that he marries this woman named Jaren, who then like goes to divorce him, but then someone finds her in a pool accidentally.
Right,
She's
so it's
dead.
a super contentious divorce.
Very
like I think
contentious.
his past wives kind of very quietly,
Do
including
people
Myra.
accidentally die in pools? Is that like something that
If
happens?
you're on drugs, maybe. Like I could see if you're
I
on
feel
drugs,
like,
you could
I
die
feel
in
like
a pool
that was the way to
accidentally.
get away with murder.
People
in the,
die
like,
in
60s.
bathtubs. So I'm like, okay.
That's also a way to get away with murder. That's a way you
You're
get
like
away
everyone
with
who's
everyone
died in a
who
bathtub.
drowned.
Everybody.
People just don't drown. That's just weird to me.
I mean,
people
they
do drown.
They do drown. That's a
Well,
thing.
I mean, it's
a
like
legit thing.
rivers or lakes or whatever, but like a fucking bathtub or a pool.
No,
it's
but
just
this-
like
to,
take
to
the
your,
stairs
to
and
your
get out
credit,
of
like
it.
this is like
right?
fucking doggy paddle, bitch.
I know. I
doing?
was like, Go to the shallow end.
On your back and float.
You say go to the shallow end. I think you said the shower end.
Okay,
Yeah.
but no, to
But
your
yeah,
credit though,
I'm
like,
like,
it was super,
It's
super
very suspicious.
Very suspicious.
So,
Zero
like,
things on
Well,
it.
he also
He's-
did say he was going to kill her at some point. So
also
there's that.
true.
classic Johnny.
I mean,
Yes.
Jerry.
Jerry. Not
Johnny?
Jerry Lewis.
No.
Jerry Lee.
Anyway, so it is very, very like suspicious. Like
Yeah.
they have a very contentious divorce. It's the first time he's having a contentious divorce. I don't think he ever thought he was going to experience anything like this,
Yeah.
where someone would come for him, because I don't think he had a prenup or anything. So she's like, I'm going to take all your money and I'm going to drag you in the media and I'm going to tell them that you beat the shit out of me all the time and
Yeah.
that you're an alcoholic drug user. And he was like, I don't like that.
He's like,
No, you won't.
they call me the killer.
They're like, you don't understand.
and that's for real.
Yeah.
It's for real. So a couple of days before their final divorce settlement, she is found drowned in a Memphis swimming pool. So,
And it's an
and they were like,
accident.
it's fine. It's an accident. And no one looked into it any further. And there's barely anything you can find online about
It's
that.
very difficult to find
Yeah.
anything on that.
And then a year later, he marries a lovely woman, half of his age, that he meets at a bar that he likes to go to. She's a waitress there.
Mhm.
Her name is Sean. And they get married, and they're married for a grand total of 77 days. Which at the time he was doing speed daily. He had to get half of his stomach removed and he almost died. Elizabeth
Which,
Taylor
I mean-
came to visit him.
Just saying.
That's,
It would have solved a lot of problems.
yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
Just died.
So,
Yikes.
yeah.
I don't care.
Hot take.
Do
Yeah.
you feel bad for Jerry Lee Lewis right now?
Like that. No, but you know.
I mean, I don't.
All
I
right,
watched the
you guys be the
Geraldo-
judge of this when we get to the end of this story, and you tell me if you feel bad for Jerry Lee Lewis.
77 days of him taking this 22 or
She's 25 when they get married.
Yeah.
They start dating when she's 23.
Yeah.
So she's 23, he's 46 when they start dating, seeing each other.
He tries repeatedly to get her younger sister to have group sex with them.
Ugh.
And
which
she's like,
is-
I don't think so, sir.
Yeah. Beats her repeatedly.
I think that there's like a clear line between his first three wives and the wives after that, because his first three wives were kind of like, it's before women's lib. You know, after that, his wives were standing up for themselves. So, like, Sean was just like, she was giving it back. Like, he was giving it to her, and she's giving it right back. And she's like, I'm going to leave. And he's like, you can't leave. You're my wife. I'll kill you before you leave.
Well, and it's
Those
also
words.
like
Those
if,
words.
No big deal.
if you've already like killed one person, you're like, man, like I mean,
Well,
I'm
what's one
already
more?
What's one
not
more?
gonna get into heaven or whatever. So like, you know, it's
He
like
does
if you've
say that
already
in an
eaten
article.
one piece of pizza, you're like, what's one more piece of pizza?
I guess I'll be
It's like,
bad.
I'll be
It's
bad.
fine.
I can cheat. It's a cheat day.
It's a cheat day.
I'll just kill her. So, yeah, 77 days.
Yeah, so at this point, she is talking to her mother. She's talking to her sister. She's like, I'm going to leave this guy. She had a high school sweetheart back at home who she repeatedly told Jerry Lee Lewis, Scott. She's like, listen, I could leave you tomorrow and Scott would take me back. And she actually called Scott and was like, hey, I'm going to leave my husband. Would you take me back? Because I would rather be with you.
He's like,
And he was like,
sweet.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So she was on the phone, I think, with her sister or
Yes,
her mother,
her mom.
where she's like planning to leave him, and then the line goes dead. And then I think it was that night or the next day.
The
It was
next
the
day.
next
Next day.
morning. Yeah, they were like, they called the ambulance and it was the housekeeper.
Found her in a spare
Lottie.
bedroom.
Yes.
In Mississippi, right? We're in Mississippi.
Yeah. And so she was in the guest bedroom, laid out on a freshly made bed.
Which, okay,
Blanket
all right,
all
yeah.
the way up to her neck.
Let's
Right.
talk about how suspicious this is
Right.
already. She's in a completely...
In the guest room of her house.
Yeah, like in the guest room of her house,
Right.
laying on a completely clean bed,
Covered in bruises, blood on her head,
covered in dirt,
blood under her fingernails.
broken fingernails.
Broken, yes.
Uh-huh.
And
And the room is clean, too. It's very weird because it's like she's dirty
right.
and blood, broken fingernails,
Right.
bruises. And I think there's
And
even
also
like a
dead.
hypodermic needle
Like, super
mark
dead.
in her arm.
Yep.
Soup's dead.
Yep.
And like the
Biggest
room
red
is
flag.
and the room is clean, which
Yep.
like doesn't make any sense.
But it happened in his county, which like Jerry Lee Lewis in the middle of wherever bumfuck he was from
Mississippi.
was like, it only cost him like $500
And we just
to
lost all
buy
our Mississippi
buy
listeners.
the county. Well, to buy the county, which $500 today, everyone knows, is only like $1,750, and he bought the whole county, and he was able to do that. And they like came in and they were like, "What happened?" He's like, "She did," and they were like, "Okay."
And also, can we address the fact that he had scratches
Yes.
on his forearm from like his elbow to his wrist? Like scratches.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, also there's blood on his robe. Oh, also in this other room, there's blood on this lamp. There's
And they're
blood on
like,
the
"But
floor.
you gonna play piano later?"
Then it'll be fine.
It'll be
This is
fine.
No
This is
worries.
fine.
This is
I
fine.
can't do accents. I shouldn't try. I'm sorry.
So yeah, they ended up leaving all of that out of the report that got sent
Entirely.
entirely out of the investigative report that got sent to the grand jury. So of course, without that information, the grand jury's like, well, they found her dead in her bed, and
Yeah, an
there's no
accident.
other information. So they're like, it was an accident. She died of an accident, and so all of this other information didn't come out until after he was acquitted of any wrongdoing.
And if anyone wants to see anything brilliant that just makes you bask in the light of the 80s, Geraldo Rivera. Is that how you say his name?
Geraldo.
Geraldo. I'm from Ohio. I'm sorry. So
I am too.
it does a 2020 exclusive on it and interviews Jerry Lee Lewis, and it's chilling, and it's also like it's very VHS. It's wonderful. It's on YouTube. You can look it up, and it's
I am dying to see this.
yeah, it's pretty intense.
Right. So he's denied any wrongdoing at all in her death. Of course, nobody believes him.
Nobody really like brought it up. Rolling
Yeah.
Stone did a like giant article on it. Like, did Jerry Lee Lewis get away with
He
murder? And no
100%
one.
killed his
no
wife.
one
Like
cared.
100% killed that
There's-
wife.
there's
Probably
just
killed
so
the other
much.
one too.
And when they were saying like when the medic got there, he was just like, he was a new kid too. He's like not being paid off. He's like, this shit is suspect as fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
And the sheriff's like, no, this is fine. He's
Yeah,
fine.
so-
Totally fine.
So the first person to get there was like this medic, and he was like, I was about to tell Jerry Lee Lewis, like, this is suspicious and we're going to need to like take you down. But then the sheriff showed up and was just like, let me talk to Jerry. Talked to Jerry for an hour,
Yeah.
wrote the report, never turned the report in
Yep.
to the grand jury.
Let
So-
him leave with like a giant box of money too. Like, did you
He's
see
like,
that in the point? He's like
There's nothing
left
more
with like
cartoonishly evil
7
than
pairs
that.
of sunglasses and a giant box of money, and I'm like, that's badass. There
Are
you
you
go.
from a Looney Tunes cartoon? Like you're just walking out with like a giant crate of actual $100 bills?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Giant $100. Sorry.
Well, he's got to use it to pay off all those people. So
God.
yeah, and then a couple days later, he was playing at his favorite bar, and he had a couple women on his arm and was back at it again. In fact, later that night, he was actually calling them, asking them for more syringes.
More hypodermic
Yes.
needles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the night that his wife died, wasn't there 2 women that he had asked to come over to have like a
Group sex?
with
no,
his
it was
wife
the night before.
the night before, and
Yeah.
they had
They
like
ran out
to
screaming.
Yeah.
a neighbor's house.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean he's completely
He's a cool dude. He's real
yeah,
chill. Yeah.
So-
super cool.
super relaxed about his wife dying.
So what do
Yeah.
we learn then? I think if we're doing like my worst date, it's like don't date
Jerry Lee Lewis.
aging rock stars.
I think that's
I think
solid.
that's a safe bet.
I think that's solid.
Yeah, I think that's a real
good
safe
lesson.
bet. But
That
also,
limits
I mean,
me.
because in that Rolling Stone article, they do a really good job of being like, Sean, who's his wife that ended up dead, they're like, Sean didn't want to date him at first. Like, she actually said that her mom, she's like, he's your age.
Yeah.
He's
He'd be
single.
perfect
like,
for
he'd
you.
Be perfect for you. He charmed her, and she talks about how he made her feel super special, and she didn't see any of that bad stuff until they were already married. It was like on their wedding night that he started, which is
switch.
very common for people who suffer from domestic abuse. It doesn't happen until they've already got you locked down,
Locked down, yeah.
locked in. So
Well, I can tell you from personal experience, although there's a lot of paperwork, it's really easy to deuces. So
Yeah.
like you're never
Well,
stuck
she was trying
anywhere.
to, man. She was trying
Yeah.
to deuces. Like
Yeah.
she was. That's what's so sad about it. And he did call. Like he was like high or something after she died, and he called her sister and was like, "She's dead," basically. Like told her, and that was like the last time. And he said that she was a bad girl. That's the thing that like made me like my blood ran cold, because he called her sister and was just like, "She's dead and she was a real bad girl," or something like that. And I was like, that's gross.
Yeah. So don't. The lesson for tonight: don't marry an aging rock star.
Yeah.
This motherfucker got married twice after that.
Yeah.
2 more people married him after
Married
that.
still.
He's married still.
Yeah.
Eternal optimist, I guess.
Lucky number 7.
All right. So,
I know.
audience, do you feel bad for Jerry Lee Lewis? There we go. There we go.
I don't.
I think we're done here.
Yeah. We want to thank you guys so much for coming out and for supporting the first live show.
Yeah.
We appreciate it so much, you guys. Honestly, this is a dream come true for us, and I wouldn't want to do this with anyone else in the entire world. I love these two so much. I mean, beyond best friends are like sisters to me. So this is an absolute fucking honor to do this with them and have
Thank
you
you
here
for
with
being
us.
our first live
Yeah.
show ever.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We really appreciate it, guys.
And thank you to Keep It Weird for being here
Yes.
tonight.
Yes.
Thank you for Joe in the booth.
Thank you for Joe in the booth, and for Chris for
Chris
helping at box office.
and Encyclopedia Christiana.
Encyclopedia Chris. And if you want to learn more about us, we have a one-stop shop. Our website is myworstdatepodcast.com.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thanks
guys
so much.
Good night.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers. Yes.
This is a Glass Box Media podcast.